Hey traders, happy Memorial Day weekend. Hope you guys had a fantastic weekend and ready for an action-packed trading week, as this week is the kickstart of the second half of the year. Everyone's returning back from vacation. Volume should be right back into the market, and I am ready to get going here. Actually, rest up. Great weekend. Hope you all had the same. Got time spent with the family. Few birthday parties, barbecues, a lot of food, a lot of gym, a lot of running. It was all good. So let's get started here. We just finished my swing trading newsletter for the members. A lot of good ideas, and I wanted to bring few of them to your attention because a lot has setting up in the market, and mostly with the S&P giving us bullish vibes here. Spiders, I just posted a chart there on my stock twits and Twitter. I mean, this is a weekly buy setup that triggered on a larger time frame and starting to look really good. So you have meaningful pivot here at 459, and I think we break here, then we go here. But most importantly, I mean, if we break this, I'm going to move this here. If we break this, which is also happened to be 2000 number on Russell 2000 on IWM, the bull run is off the chain. I mean, it's going to be just absolutely bonkers bull market. I will be trading on margin if that happens. We're starting to get that. We haven't started to get those vibes yet, but IWM starting to get really bullish now. Our members are long here on the what is it, TNA, sorry, not 10, TNA, the Russell 2000 3 times. We got long at 34, so right up here we got long 34. Stop was just under this, and now we're up, up nicely here. It's at 36.21, but there's long ways to go. But again, this Russell 2000 breaks out, this is minimum $54 here. So Qs on the other hand, there's I think personally what I wrote to the members here, and I'll bring it here for you guys. This is what I wrote to the members, and you can kind of see what I wrote here. That hey, Nasdaq had an 8-day follow through last week. I mean, you can see the net highs also looking positive here on the Nasdaq. Last Friday's slight stall was on low holiday volume. The follow-through day was a good price and volume-wise, but there was a distinct lack of leader breaking out. So the lack the feel of the stampede, which is optimal but not deal breaker by any means. Let's see how many quality leaders emerge over the next 2 weeks. The Nasdaq is only 1% above the 50-day moving average, and I would not be concerned about another digestion until it reaches 5 to 7%. So that's what I wrote in my newsletter, and I have other commentary for the members. If you're interested, you can simply click on the link below on this video to join the chat and have at least access to some of this commentary and access to great traders. So let's get going here. I like Q's higher. 50 hourly chart has been trading over the 21 period moving average in the bull market. The hourly chart is your guide of how to play long. So some of the setups long. If you were listening to the videos last week, we had some great setups, and they are working perfectly fine. If you remember Adobe, Adobe's up $40 from our entry, and that was for the members, and I brought it here as well. This was a absolutely, this was a what I would call it, I was salivating. It's like a Mona Lisa of all entries, because I believe Adobe is going to be beneficiary of AI. So that 525 put a stop at 500 here, and it went up to as high as 565. Let's just call it 565. So $40. It's closed at 563. So nice little move here in Adobe. Not the quite 10% yet, but we'll get there. It's almost there, 10%, almost 10% move in Adobe. But I personally, and everyone has their own own style of trading, but those of you who come and attend and join our swing newsletter, I give my I don't give recommendation, but I give my views, and my views are only mine, of how I'm going to trade Adobe. And my point, the whole idea of grabbing Adobe here, and somebody would probably, those that have no idea how to trade the stocks the right way, is, hey, you know what, this is too high, let it pull back. No, I'm not. That's not how I trade. I believe in the stories. I'm always looking at the fundamentals, and I'm also looking at the technicals. And if those of you, I trade the Bill O'Neill method, William O'Neill. And Bill said in his one of his seminar that I've attended in Santa Monica, and I took the notes here. It says, just follow the indexes. Opinion, rates, Fed meetings, economic numbers, terrorist attack, media scare stories, and politics are all distraction. That's it. If 3Q accelerating EPS, if the stock has 3Q accelerating, third quarter accelerating EPS, it's a potential monster. And that's those. I can give you examples after examples. Those work, and that hence I'm up 58% for the year, fully documented. So let's just go from there. So Adobe, beautiful chart here. I'm gonna get right into the stocks, the true market leaders that I have, so you can get actionable ideas perhaps. So I'm just gonna start in no order, just to what I have on my list here, and I have quite a few. So let's get started. NVIDIA. I believe in this story. I believe in NVIDIA's story, just like I believe in Adobe's story. I think NVIDIA is going to be one of the, it's first of all, it remains the market leader. It's only 3%. It's only 3% off the high. In reminiscence of stock operator, Livermore discussed leader crossing par $100 and large number in general, 200, 300, and in this case, at 500, and how the stock frequently advanced $30 to $50 quickly and more pronounced at higher numbers. So remember, higher the numbers, the more profound the movement is going to be. And NVIDIA seems to fit the bill, and I call it a stock operator entry here on the NVIDIA. AI and data centers are driving an insane trajectory of upward revisions to NVIDIA revenue growth throughout, I think, I believe it was fiscal year 2026. If you really look at the NVIDIA stories, and I'm happy to show you that. So so that's, where is it? Right here. So let's bring it to you guys here and show you what I was talking about. And I've spent tons of time on my scanners here on Marcus Smith. Like I said, it's probably one of the best software that I've personally come across. So I love Marcus Smith. I don't get any money from them, but if you can afford it and it's the cost of doing business, it's worth it. Look at this, 187%, 57% for the next year. It is absolutely one of the darlings of Wall Street right now. I mean, it meets 9 out of 9 criterias of William O'Neill, from EPS rating, relative strength. Obviously, relative strength is and still going higher. So, anyways, just wanted to show you, how you can combine the two, and obviously that works. Always remember, this is what I'm going to say. I'm going to move on to the next stock here. What moves the price of the stock? I mean, what moves the stock? The answer should be price. Well, what moves the price? People. What move people? A belief in something great in the stock. And that is, if you follow the canceling model, it's the N in a canceling model, which is new, innovative, and what's in there. And right now, that's what AI is. And if you listen to my previous videos, I talked about Adobe. Why Adobe? Is because I believe AI will have reacceleration in earnings for Adobe. All right. So let's go to the next one here. And next one is Netflix. All right, Netflix. I do like Netflix. I think this is also setting up, could be an entry here at 444. That's another really good story on Netflix as far as the fundamentals. They are intact with Netflix. They are, they're growing pretty fast here as far as the sales. Not as good as NVIDIA, because NVIDIA's insane. I mean, their sales are insane. I mean, it's just absolutely insane, NVIDIA. I mean, if you ever want to see what happens here, look at the surprise EPS here, June 23rd, 429%. Sales 13.5 billion, 101% from 7.2 to 13.5. So now Netflix doesn't offer you all that, and that's the last time I'm going to bring this. Netflix doesn't offer you. I mean, it's nonetheless. I mean, it's a good story here, but not as strong fundamentals as NVIDIA here for Netflix. All right. So, but this is what I like. It is an actionable. It is just not ready to go but Meta. I'm already long Meta. I'm long over 300. That's another, reminiscent of stock operator entry here. 300. I mean, last time it passed 300, look at this right up here. Last time it passed 300, it went to 320 pretty quickly here. So I'm looking for it. This is a really nice weekly buy setup on Meta. First pullback, really meaningful pullback after what we've had here, and we did play this here, those of you in the swing program, for a nice entry. Apple, this is an FYI stock. There's nothing actionable for me in Apple right now, but I think it's they're, what is it? I think September 10th is their iPhone launch, and we'll see what happens. They had a great run, a nice pullback, but not my type. But here's the one that I do like, AMD. Really nice pullback on AMD weekly charts. It's settling down here. We have nice accumulation. Volume is staying pretty strong, not as high. This is the 1 week of a high volume here. Pullback is orderly. It's at support. Now it breaks this downtrend line. I like to get long over here, 111, pretty big stop. But then you have a move right here. Obviously my goal is to get, if I can get these setups early on in the quarter, then I am most likely to hold my stocks into earnings. Now this one reports October 31st. Did not have a very good earning, but had really good forward earnings on AMD. Nothing like NVIDIA, but I do like this. And if I can pick this up right here at 111, stop at 100, and then in earning, if I have 15% cushion, and then I am holding this into earning. That's the only way you're gonna make big money. Otherwise, you ain't gonna make big money. Otherwise, you're just gonna hop from one newsletter to another newsletter looking for holy grail, and your account will never grow. The big money's in long-term holding. Toll Brother, housing stocks or home builder stocks, I'm sorry, they are on fire. This is probably one of the most liquid stock that trades. Look at this, these tall, what I call skyscrapers on the weekly chart. These are institutions telling us that this stock has a lot of juice. Nothing here, but next pullback I'm going to be interested. Tesla is very interesting. I'm long Tesla since 222. I've added a 238. So I've added along the way. Did get a little sucker punched here on Friday with drop in prices of Model X and Model S. If you're in California now, it is within the $7,500 tax credit. So significant drop in those prices, kind of moved the market. Volume was also high here. Now this, on the other hand, if I were to accentuate positives, this can set up along here over 260 if you miss the move, and I will be adding over 260. And then if it breaks 230, I will be out of this stock regardless what happens. That's my break-even point at 230. Also, this is the pivot that it should not break. But in a bull trend, we should not see a violent move like this off the 50-period moving average in any stock. Now, Tesla could be exception to the rule, but relative strength RS is. It has improved, is improving. Obviously the sales growth are starting to come back. The earnings and the sales, they're both up, and we'll see what happens here. But pretty ugly move on Friday. LI, one of my actually it's the one of three favorite Chinese stock. And quite frankly, if you think about what's happening in China stock, I actually starting to believe in this story in China stock. The Chinese wind, I would say, is blowing with all due respect, and nothing. I believe that's it's really good. It's a great place. This is a great place to start a position, and maybe a 10% position, and then maybe find a way to add along the way. But if it can break out to new highs, we may have a monster. I'm going to change this to a monthly chart. Look at this here. Change this to a monthly chart so you can see what I'm seeing on the other side of the screen. But this could be a monster stock. I mean, this is just the 1, 2, 3, 4 years of base right here. This breaks out. You may have a monster in your hand, monster stocks. So entry right here, and your stop is going to be right here, and let this one ride. Great earnings here on this one, but like I said, the China stocks, the wind is blowing, and I think this has all the attributes to be to get going. So strong wind. Let's go. EDU, that's another one on my list here. This one broke out on Friday, the EDU. But look at this monthly 1, 2, 3, 4 setup, 58.10. It's not too late. I mean, this was just a 200, and your stop, this entry will be 58, and your stop will be 49. But this is a monthly chart, and that means you'll be sitting it right here. Not late. If you ask me, not late. Monster stock right here. First target is flat 200. Actually, first target is right up here into this area, 61. So that's the first target, but then boom. So maybe wait for a pullback, but this looks pretty good. All right, AVGO, same thing here. It's consolidating forever here. Red bar, actually I like it, but now it's setting up at 920. MDB is actually perhaps one of my favorite setup here. It's super nice, MDB, and I'm feeling confident that the MDB, based on its quality and the volume here, this can really break out, but it's going to be right here. It's not ready yet. The 420 will be the entry here for me on MDB. It did faded after the earnings right here, so that's perfectly fine. I like it when they fade after earning. Maybe it gives us some meaningful pivot right here, and then we can play over this 420 right here. 420, I like that. So this is good. All right, this is a special one. IoT, monster volume. It's about to go here, so watch out. IoT, even put it on your charts for tomorrow. That's just amazing right here. This is when IPO explosions happen. So if you just remember, you heard it here, that IoT looks absolutely just fantastic here. All right, PLTR, love this chart here as well. It's under the 50-period moving average. Not my favorite. Entry will be 16. Stop will be about 13 and a half. Carvana back on track here. I mean, look at this big stage 1 here, right? Rounding bottom. If those of you who like the technical terms, look at the monthly chart. It's in a 1, 2, 3, 4 setup, entry will be right here, 57. Stop will be big stop here, but look, it was not saying it's going to 350, but Carvana has all the attributes of the meme stock, and if you take off 57, watch out above. Next target will be $100 here. So I personally would have orders out for Carvana at 57. I'm not interested here, but I'm absolutely interested at 57 with the nice volume. All right, XP is another one. Entry right here, 27. Nice right side is building a nice right side. It's kind of cup and handle here. Uber, we're already long. If you're listening, look at this, building the handle here and could get going. Weekly chart already in the works. We already talked about the IoT. SMCI is, I think it's back. SMCI is back. This was a monster stock that went from 100 to 300 in 1, 2, 3 weeks. Now this is I think this is getting ready here, ready to fly again, and that's going to be my entry over 300. That Livermore entry. This is what I call meaningful pivot. It's all actually building pivot. The volume staying strong. Had a ugly earning bar, but then ever since then it got bought. PDD, it's gone. Any pullback here, if we get a consolidation here on PDD, I'm going to be playing long here. XPEV, I'm already long. Had a bar, it went back up to 20, but it's a weekly chart that's working good. Monthly chart has a flag, so I am long here already. It's starting to look pretty good. SAIA broke out. Any consolidate, I think this is not late. Quite frankly, it's not late. Had a nice gap up. Could be entry over 443. It's a big name. Shop. Shop. I need to see what Shop does here around 200 pair moving average. I've traded this stock so many different ways. Never able to catch a move in a stock, even though this gap up, and quite frankly I was not in that gap up. I got out of this stock. It just fell below 50 per moving average. So I've made some money, I lost some money, I made money, I lost money. Net I'm not doing too well in Shop, but I have in my list. Any pullback on CLH, holler at me. I want to know. PanW, the earning gap, this is the island reversal here on the earning gaps. 260 is my entry on PanW. This is it's in a space in itself. NTNX gap up on the earning. I want to see what happens here. It consolidates here. This is going to stay on my list for a couple of weeks. I want to see what happened in a couple of weeks. Globe or Global E Online. I think this is the entry here on Global Online for me, $46, and then play that breakout. CFLT looks really good here on all time frames. This is just beautiful pattern here, and look at the volume that came up. There's volume here, there's volume here. That means these are institutional volumes, so keep an eye on this one. AXON looks very good. I want to see if it consolidates here up at $230 and give us an entry here. Melly, Melly broke out, so it needs a pullback here, but that's also very strong. And then Schlumberger, oil stocks are starting to see some, show some life here, and SLB is probably one of the best one. IBKR over 94, good entry here. And then this is an Indian name, makemytrip.com. This could be one of those, what I would say, monster stocks here. Look what's happening here. It's about to go monthly, 1, 2, 3, $40, stop at 39. It's not bad. I mean, look at, if you can get this here at 40, let's say you put a stop at 37.5, let it ride. If it stops out, it stops out. If it doesn't stop out, it has long ways to go. And then last one I have, and a little bit of a speculative name, NVO. It doesn't have as much of a volume, but I love this story. It is an ADR. I love this 4 weeks of consolidation here after the gap. It's holding the gap and it's getting ready to move higher. So that's all I have. I hope you enjoyed. If you do, hit a like, hit a subscribe, stay focused, stay disciplined, stay with Playbook Trading.